My oh my, it was a very, very relaxing weekend. Didn't have to worry about an Eagles game, didn't have to worry about a damn thing this past weekend. And it was nice just to relax, kick back, and watch teams fucking have at it. So, kind of felt like a bye week in a weird way, but it wasn't. So, just going forward with the remaining schedule we have, with everything that we have, with the Eagles just getting healthier and healthier, we can actually get somewhere this year, hopefully make a playoff run, do something, at least make it there. As long as we make it there, I don't care what the fuck happens. But I know in our past, the Eagles tend to fuck things up on their own. But with this team, I haven't really seen that. I haven't seen a lot of shooting ourselves in the foot. Everyone's making contributions. All the wide receivers are doing well. The only wide receiver that I'm probably upset with right now is Torrey Smith, because it seems like he's just not there. And it seems like Mac Hollins is just getting better, and that spot is being taken by Mac Hollins. Torrey Smith not really elevating himself to be that guy to step up. Now, he has made plays. Don't get me wrong. He has made plays, and he has made plays where they counted. But he has dropped a few balls, and he hasn't really been consistent. Normally, I think that really Torrey Smith is here, to at least, I don't know. Torrey Smith is pretty much here to stretch the defense out and kind of just be some decoy on this team right now. That's all I really see him as. And we'll see how it goes in the future with him. But I don't see Torrey Smith being on this team for a very long time. I'm thinking he's really just a decoy on this team, just to open up the defense a little bit. Other than that, I see Mac Hollins coming in, taking care of business. Nelson Aguilar, starting slot receiver, taking care of fucking business as he should, as he was a first-round pick, the 20th pick in the draft from USC. And weren't fond of him the first 2 years, and then look at him now, contributing. And he's literally the best wide receiver we have at our team right now. If you really think about it, the guy has 320 yards, I think, 322 yards, and that's what he literally got. 322 yards these past few games. The first 2 years of being on the Eagles, 300 yards. That's it. And he's equaled that in a few games. And I couldn't be any happier about him. It's a very good thing. And down the road, we have to stick together. This team has to stick together. This offensive line, defensive line, top five defensive line, top 10 offensive line. I'd say top 6, top 5 right now. They gotta keep chopping the fucking wood, going after these guys on defense, making those holes for the running backs. LeGarrette fucking Blount already has a little bit over 300 yards rushing already. Not a high number, but he's making every handoff, every chance he can get with the ball in his hands. He makes as many yards as possible. Only been tackled a few yards. Only been tackled a few times behind the line. Where there was one game we didn't even use him against Kansas City. And he's looking pretty damn good. This offensive line is molding together. Halapuli, Vadi Vaitai stood in there, made some mistakes. The Panthers game planned, and he held his own in the second half. He got together, he held his own, he did what he had to do, and you couldn't ask for anything better, because I know last year was his first game against the Redskins. He gave up a few sacks, and he looked absolutely atrocious out there. But it's a good thing. I'm happy for the guys, and I feel very comfortable. I think what I feel most comfortable about is this team that's gelling right now, and not even that, but Carson Wentz is probably my number one comfortable. He's the guy that makes me comfortable. Like, when he's on the field, I feel safe. I don't feel like bad shit's going to happen. I feel like he'll make safe and the right decisions where to throw the ball. And honestly, I am so glad, and all of us Eagles fans should be fucking happy that Carson Wentz is our quarterback, and we found our quarterback. So when you think about it, even in the offseason, if we get a second-round pick back this year, we got Carson Wentz for free. For free. We got all our picks back, except the second rounder for this year. And that would be a fucking steal. But I'm okay with it. I'm not worried about the offseason already. It's already another stress bomb going to happen next year, but not worried about it. This team going forward looks very good. Okay, only 2 teams on our schedule that I'm kind of like about is Seattle Seahawks and holy fuck, Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. 2 teams. Well, just saw the Giants beat the Denver Broncos. And I don't know if fucking Denver Broncos took them fucking lightly, or I don't know. But I know Simeon was throwing the ball like shit. I'm not just saying that because the Giants won the game, but I know Simeon really played a bad game and on top of getting injured. Other than those 2 games, every other game is winnable. Every other game is winnable. We haven't even faced the fucking Cowboys yet. The Redskins are Monday night. That video will come later. Working on it. Face the Giants one more time at MetLife. And hopefully, at least by, usually by week 12, week 13, you'll see who's really going to be in that spot to win the division, get into the fucking playoffs. Who's going to get into that fucking spot? And honestly, you would think the only threat that the Eagles have are the fucking Redskins. The Redskins have been up and down, okay? They've been winning, they've been losing, but they have been literally getting through games just like we have. We squeaked by a few. The Redskins have squeaked by a few games. Even against the 49ers, very close. And I wish 49ers won that game, but it is what it is. And the Redskins are just doing enough to win. Just doing enough to win. Okay? Even, I think it's when I saw the Redskins play the Raiders, and it was after the Giants game. When I went to the Giants game, I went to the hotel, laid down in the hotel bed, and was watching the fucking game. And I noticed, hey, you know what? The Redskins look really good against the fucking Raiders. But then I've noticed the Raiders have been looking like shit for the next few weeks. And they haven't looked the same at all. Everything. The Redskins look like, I was like, holy shit. I was like, they look really good right now on all sides of the ball. But then I see how the Raiders are playing ever since that game. They have not looked the same. I think it was a fluke. I think that the Redskins literally just had the advantage. I think the Raiders had just been playing like shit, and they, the Raiders were talked about this offseason like, it was going to be a Patriots, Raiders, whatever. It was going to be a Super Bowl, NFC, whatever the hell it is. It was going to be a big game at the end of the year. About the Raiders going all the way. But then I see them playing like shit. But this year is the weirdest year for teams getting beat. Everyone's getting beat this year. I mean, you got Pittsburgh over undefeated fucking Kansas City. Pittsburgh always has Kansas City's fucking number. The Jaguars are like up and down, like they're killing teams and then they're losing like crazy. And then it's just nuts. Like it's a very, very weird year. The Jets got screwed against the fucking Patriots over a fucking touchdown. Over in the end zone by Safarian Jenkins. It's crazy. It's nuts. The Patriots don't look good. Aaron Rodgers, the big thing, like I just said just now, the biggest thing that's going on is Aaron Rodgers. That's the news of the year. Aaron Rodgers is out. He may come back. There might be a chance that he might come back really, 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 really late to play a playoff game if he has to, because he did it that one year when he was out the whole year. Backup quarterback, got into the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers came back, finished the fucking deal, then lost, a round later, game later. Aaron Rodgers, that's a very, very big thing. Him not being around is big because they could be. honestly, you can literally have 2 games. I know a lot of people saying the Patriots are probably going to make it again, but let me say, the Dolphins fucking beat, the Dolphins, and Dolphins beat the Falcons. You know what I mean? Like, and the Dolphins have looked like shit. You understand? It's like whoever's ready to play is ready to play. The record don't fucking mean shit. The record doesn't mean shit. The personnel, the injuries mean the most, more than the fucking record, and we all know that. So when you look at all that, you're like, okay, I don't know who's going to be in. I don't know what's going on. Like, when we didn't have, thank God we had Fletcher Cox playing in the fucking Carolina game. If we didn't have Fletcher Cox playing in the Carolina game, I don't know what the fuck would have happened. I really don't, because that pass rush won't be as good. That guy is a fucking train wreck fucking monster, okay? Plus with Jernigan next to him right there. You understand? Especially if you play a team that has a pretty good offensive line, a very good offensive line. But I know that the center, Khalil, was out, and they have a very, very good guard, and Fletcher Cox drove him right into fucking Cam Newton's lap, and then the ball got, they hit it right into his arm, threw the ball, intercepted by Rasul Douglas, and that's how you get turnovers with this 4-3 defense. This is how good this 4-3 defense is. Our corners aren't the best corners, but they're playing very well for what they're doing. Patrick Robinson, Jalen Mills. Russell Douglas has ups and downs, but he's fighting, man. I like this defense. I like these corners because they have a lot of swag. They talk a lot of shit. They show it by the way they play. They don't show it off the fucking camera, outside of football, they don't show it that way. They show it when they play on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, whatever the fuck it's going to be. That's where they show it, and that's where they should show it, because they're class fucking guys that want to get the fucking job done. They think of every game as we are 0-0. We need to win that next one. And they go for it, and they fucking do what they got to do to win a damn game. Okay? We've had some nail biters. The Cardinals game was probably the most relaxing game I've ever been to. I went to the Cardinals game, most relaxing. But where is there to look ahead? Carson Wentz, does he have chemistry with Alshon Jeffrey? I think that it's growing very slowly, but I think it's getting there. I know it was kind of weird not seeing Alshon get much, 20 yards. Sometimes, very, very few passes, but hit him with the long ball. You know what I mean? On top of everything else, Alshon Jeffrey got held a few times this year for pass interference calls, which it did happen. Flags were thrown, so who knows? Could have caught those balls too. So those affect his yards, his stats as well, because he's a big guy and he can literally get, he can get a lot of attention. But when I see Alshon catch the ball downfield, now, the only thing I know is that everybody knows with the Eagles fans, and I know Carson probably knows this too, is that his deep ball actually is not the best right now, but it's continuously getting better, and he's doing better. I mean, honestly, even the Cardinals throwing that one to Torrey Smith right into his fucking gut, right into the bottom of his gut, boom. Perfect pass, wasn't too high, wasn't too low, it's just there, just right there where you can go down and get it on the run. Have the advantage of the speed, and fucking get the touchdown. So I'm very happy with this team and what's going on. The run game, I'm probably more happy. We haven't ran this much since 2013, and it's getting to that point where it's getting pretty fucking nice now. Okay, because I wish LeGarrette Blount was fucking younger, because I'd keep him on this team for a long time. But he's hitting his 30s. He's already in his 30s now, and who knows what will happen next year. But that's for another conversation later. The defense has been doing absolutely amazing, and you know what? If we didn't have this pass rush, we wouldn't be winning games. If we didn't get third down conversions on offense, we wouldn't be winning games. You understand? We're the best team in the NFL. He has Carson Wentz has over 600 yards in third down conversion yards, and my God, I think it's third and 10 and higher that he's getting this. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17. It's amazing what this guy is doing on third down, which we didn't have last year. Our offense last year was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And honestly, our defense last year kept us in games, but we couldn't finish them either by fumbles, injuries, and we just couldn't finish games. We couldn't catch the fucking ball. Simple as that. So, I'm talking to everybody right now because we all need to see the difference that's going on right now. Okay? It's okay. If you're sipping the Kool-Aid just a little bit, you deserve to. It's not a bad thing to celebrate a little bit because honestly, it's still early in the season, but it's a good thing. And I understand, rival teams pissed, you know what I mean? oh, you won 3 last year and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I was stunned last year we beat the fucking Steelers too. I was very, I was very surprised. You know what I mean? And then our downfall came after the bye week, played the Lions, and then that was it. We were fucking done the rest of the year. But this team doesn't look like they're giving up anytime soon. Still got a long road ahead. But you got the Redskins Monday night. You got the 49ers. I think you got the fucking Broncos. And I think you got the Cowboys after that. So the next 4 games, don't know. I see us winning 3 out of the 4. 3 out of the 4 I could see. If they play the way they're playing. Like I said in every video, before a game, after a game, recap, preview, whatever the fuck it is, I can see this team going pretty far. But the only way, quote unquote, the only way they are going to lose games is if they shoot themselves in the foot. Penalties, not catching the ball, offensive line not giving Carson enough time, and the defensive line not giving enough pressure. Those are my 4 top things. If they don't do right, we will lose the game. You understand? But you have a different setting now. Okay, you have a different setting. You got the Redskins coming off of a 49ers team. And a 49ers team that literally pretty much almost won the fucking game. Not even that, but Pierre Garçon had an offensive penalty. It was on their, I think it was on their 40-something yard line, or their 50, or whatever the hell it was. They got back 15 yards. I think that one penalty fucked up the whole game, where they at least could have had one more pass and literally scored a touchdown. So it was literally Redskins lost by a fucking penalty that was self-inflicted wounds by the fucking 49ers on offense. But this is not a defense you want to mess with. This is not anything that's, there's like Cam Newton has faced mediocre defenses the past few games. What, New Orleans? What, the Patriots? They're not that fucking good on defense this year, especially. Fuck no. Cam Newton hasn't faced a D-line like that in a while. Okay, the last time I beat Cam Newton was in 2014, but Cam Newton was a fucking mess. He was hurt. That was Mark Sanchez's opening day, fucking first game starter, and fucking tore it up. And now it is what it is. And look, we don't get the respect on TV, on media. It's fine. Let us not get the fucking respect. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Okay? I know you want to beat teams at their best. I know you want to beat teams with full fucking people. You don't want injuries. You don't want anything. You want to beat teams fair and fucking square. But sometimes the shit just doesn't fucking happen. It really doesn't. So, the only thing you really have to think about is, what can this team do better? What does this team need to do to move forward? They got to keep running the ball. They got to keep blocking for Carson. Lane Johnson's back next week. We're only getting healthier. Ronald Darby's a week or 2 away from coming back, but I don't know if they're going to put him on the field. And I probably wouldn't, because these corners are starting. You don't want to take someone off the field and get rid of their confidence. You really don't. I want Darby to go back in, but I don't want him to go back in because I like the way these guys are playing right now. Sidney Jones is a whole nother thing. Probably won't even play this year. I highly doubt it. I think they're being very cautious because they still said they're still being wildly cautious about that Achilles. It is what it is. Unless we're in the playoffs and we're down 2-3 corners with injuries, then I'd say throw all of them the fuck in. Then that would be emergency. But we're not in a fucking emergency right now, okay? Corey Graham's healthy. Jalen Watkins, hopefully he comes back because we need at least another corner. And then, everyone's just got to stay healthy. And that's it. Lane Johnson's back from concussion protocol. You know what I mean? So that's a big fucking difference having him in the game, as you know of last year, how bad it was when he wasn't around. But that's it. But I just wanted to make this video about what we look like going forward, and we need to keep our heads up high. We need to keep doing what we're doing and keep supporting this team. Still stand behind him and let them fucking grind this shit out, and we'll do what we got to do. Okay? The only thing I said, they shoot themselves in the foot, they're losing games. That's it. But I see something different with this team. It's a different atmosphere. It doesn't feel like old Eagles games like last year and the year and the years before that. It feels different. just the environment. Carson makes everything feel different. The wide receivers make everything feel different. Just the uplifting hope of what this team can actually do this year, and how they're battling. They're finishing games. The one thing that Doug Pearson said, which we all know, they couldn't finish games last year. We had leads, couldn't finish games. This year, they're learning how to finish games. That's all that matters. So, that's all I gotta say, guys. Have a, Hate Week video is gonna come out Thursday anyway, so I'm gonna get ready for this big fucking battle against the fucking team probably I hate the damn most, other than the Dallas Cowboys, but I hate the fucking Redskins too. So, I'll see you guys later. Joey672 out. Peace!